the various industry dynamics of online food delivery. Now, today we will start looking at your pre-scene, and we'll try to figure out that what information has been presented in pre-scene and how we can, do the analysis to understand that information in a more appropriate manner. So this is a COVID statement. This just tells that you are not under a COVID situation, so your answer should not be influenced by the COVID situation, because this is a specific and very specific situation. So, and that would be limiting your answer. So you should forget that you're the real in the real world we are passing through the COVID situation. So in this pre-scene economic environment, there is no COVID. So now this is the table of content, a layout of your pre-scene introduction, food, and it gives the a little bit introduction to the fast food industry. Actually, you are a part of the fast food industry as far as the delivery is concerned, but you know that calling it the fast food industry, this online delivery, that's something I don't agree, because this online delivery is just not limited to the fast food. You could see that this delivery has been now extended. This delivery model has been extended to the groceries and all other, so many other industries as well. So, what happened? Okay. Okay. Sorry, क्योंकि सॉफ्टवेयर अपडेट का आ गया, किधर गया वो? So, so um, that delivery and we have been told in our pre-scene that this model, I mean the system which you are currently using, that was adopted from the retail industry, right? So they for the online delivery of probably those retail items. Then the fast food home deliveries, uh, the concept, introduced that how this thing started, like the restaurants started to deliver to the homes themselves. Then Snakwheel, this is an introduction then to the Snakwheel, which is your company. Snakwheel's IT system, which is the backbone of the whole business model. So that's why they have started with this IT system. Otherwise, you would not see that, that in any pre-scene, they are telling us in the start about the IT system, but you know that this is something which is based on this digital platform. So we are being given the introduction to that IT system in the very start. Snakwheel's couriers, then that obviously it has been mentioned that you got a two types of a courier, how that whole thing is being managed, how they are being paid, what is the business model of managing those the couriers. Then extracts from the Snakwheel's annual reports, and then Snakwheel's board of directors, Snakwheel's principal risks at a strategic level. One of the responsibility of the managers is to manage the risk. So we have been told that what are the prime risk of for the snack wheel, and what is the current strategy to manage those risks. Then we would be given a little information about our competitor, Munch Bikes, share price history, that will be telling us about the trends of the share price. So how the share price is.
Sorry, मैं late हो गया था.
Okay, it's okay. Walaikum salam. Okay, share price history. So you know that it tells about the what we call that the consistency in the market perception of your company, because the share price represent the market perception, investor perception about your company. News stories, it will be telling us about the different dynamics, that what the people think about your company, what are the new developments in that industry, what the various stakeholder uh, have the opinion about your company, like about the business, and specifically news in the news stories. Generally, they don't specifically refer to the company, but sometimes they do refer to the specific company as well. Otherwise, they give the news about the industry. So extracts from more motorbike blog, that's again something those couriers are they are expressing their opinion about their job and all that, the commission they are getting. So now Snakwheel is a quoted company that facilitates the home deliveries on behalf of fast food companies across its home country. So now we need to understand the ecosystem. In our ecosystem, we do have the restaurants, that those are the supplier of the food, and we do have a role to play. And then there are the consumer customers, and the prime job of the our company is to create a connection, or ensure the convenient delivery of the food to the consumer. So consumer can order food by app or through Snakwheel's website. So when you are a quoted company, there are certain things which are associated with the quoted company. So reporting requirements are stringent, shareholder pressure, because shares are being held by the various investors, so they would be having the expectation. Finances could be raised from the capital market because you're a listed company. Improved reputation because of IFRS compliance, as we know that any company which is listed on the stock exchange, they do have the stringent requirement of the compliance. So a shared stakeholder management topic becomes relevant because you would be having the various stakeholders. Um, Currently operating in the local market, yes, that's we have been told, like in the paragraph, that you are somewhere that currently you are operating only in that country, uh, west area. Snakwheel could expand to the other geographical area. So you're a senior manager in Snakwheels. Now, why I have mentioned it, because this is something which has been given here. Snakwheel is based in West Area, developed country that has an active and regulated stock exchange. West Aria's currency is uh, a home. Sorry, this information is there. Behalf on the fast food companies across its home country, right? So currently you are operating in the home country only, right? So you are a senior manager in Snakwheel's finance function. You report directly to the board and advise on the special projects and strategic. So when you are a senior manager, as we have already seen in one of our previous slide, that being a senior finance manager, there are certain expectations from your position. So those expectations are that to keep in mind that the board of director members are not expert in finance and other areas. Board of a director doesn't need to know the operational and trivial issues. Therefore, your role requires strategic level advice. The other things we have already like explained when we started, that what is expected from your role, what is the expectation from your role. So through the food order is being orders are being placed to the app. So it requires the digital platform management, social media management, and using the big data to approach the customers, data analytics. All these topics becomes relevant when you say that your business model is based on the fact that the orders are being placed through the app. So KPIs for the performance, the measurement of the digital platform, all these things, become all of a sudden relevant when we see this information there and pre-seen, right? So Snakwheel is based in West Area, a developed country that has an active and well-regulated stock exchange. West Aria's currency is the W dollar. West Area requires companies to prepare their financial statements in accordance with the International Financial Reporting standards. So when we say that a country is a developed country, people are educated and have purchasing power, which makes demand conditions good. Now, these are the inferences we are making from the given information. So you could use this information in your arguments if you face a situation where you have to tell the something, some in the initiative that require the purchasing power of the customers and the customers need to be educated in order to implement that initiative, then you could refer this fact there. You could tell that West Area is a developed country, so we assume that the people are educated, they do have the purchasing power. So that this model requires at least certain the basic understanding of the language, and the customers need to have a basic understanding of using those apps, so they could place the order. Internet must be available to major portion of the population, because if the internet is not available, then obviously it is not easy to it is not possible actually to implement this model. Then the Wisteria requires companies to prepare their financial. Okay, so well-regulated stock exchange mean that companies have to follow stringent regulations. Now, when we say that it's a developed country, people have the purchasing power, people are educated. So, that Porter's diamond model, demand, condition, and all that becomes relevant. So we will see that what is that Porter diamond model. You have studied that Porter's diamond model. So Porter's diamond model says that the factor conditions are good, demand conditions are good, firm strategy and structure and rivalry. If the firms, like in your country, the firms are uh, got a good competition, so that will help you to refine demand condition goods. Like China, they got a very good demand condition, so whatever they do, they actually achieve the economies of scale because of the sizable demand in their home market. Factor condition means that that you are uh, uh, the supply of the labor, etc. The human work, human resource. You are a developed country, so you could find the programmers and all that. The data analyst, which are the backbone of your company, because you are a digital platform. You need to have the highly skilled people for your company. Obviously, courier on the other side is as a different ball game, because the courier job is a very basic kind of a job and not considered a very well paying job. So maybe your company would be facing a little bit problem in finding the couriers, right? That could be a situation that you are a developed country, and that you are not able to find the couriers, because that's not a very well paid job. So your company might be thinking to replace that model. That, so you might be introducing the those drones to um, deliver the food. So that would then be altogether changing your this part of your business model. Related and sporting industry. Related and sporting industry means that the restaurant industry for you is a related industry. Sporting industry means that those digit these the technology and internet infrastructure is widely available, so that would be providing you the base the base for establishing your business there. So in your case, these all indicators are good. All these fact the all these four requirements are there, because you are a developed economy. Government and chance is like something happens which creates the opportunity. Like in the COVID, this mask was a chance thing, right? The requirement of the mask and those medicines. So government means that sometimes that the government supports certain industry. Like in Pakistan, so government was supporting those energy saver thing. So that would also be creating the demand for that industry. The government might be providing the support, so that makes that industry then competitive. So what actually you get out of this Porter model, that if you would be having all these things uh, in place in your home market, then you would be in a better position to compete in the international market as well. So that these all digital companies, they are expanding to the other companies after establishing their infrastructure in their home countries. Now they got the expertise, they got the data and the business processes and methods, and all those are assets for the company, and they replicate the whole business model in the country where they would be expanding, obviously after making certain changes to make it suitable for those that market's requirement. So demand condition is good as people can afford the home delivery, internet availability, educated workforce to develop and manage apps, websites, right? Competition among the players good. Road infrastructure to support the quick delivery transportation. Good number of the restaurants. So this is no. This is the implementation of the demand in this diamond Porter's diamond model in your given situation. तो इस पे जरा if you want to say anything, बाबर, is it okay? आप now you could understand कि जी अगर पोर्टर डायमंड मॉडल को आपकी इंडस्ट्री पे इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, अप्लाई करना है, तो वो किस तरह से होगा? ये तो मैंने बुलेट्स में लिख दिए ना, तो आप इनसे सेंटेंसेस बना सकते हैं, जो बातें मैंने सारी बनाई बताई हैं।
जी सर, क्लियर है, इसका कंसेप्ट भी क्लियर है और रिलेट कर सकता हूँ।
ठीक है, तो सजाद आपका कोई कंट्रीब्यूशन इसमें करना चाह रहे हो? सजाद इज नॉट देयर, आई
यार आपकी वॉल्यूम नहीं आ रही।
अली साहब आप बताएं, is there anything that you
I'm
want to add?
comfortable with your assessment और I'm okay with it. I've already read it, तो मेरे ख्याल से तो आपने जो बातें की हैं, तो फैक्टर्स हैं और फॉर्म्स और ये बातें ठीक है जी। आप I'm comfortable with it.
Okay, fine. So let's move. I would stop at the models because applying those model is important, right? बाकी जो पढ़ रहे हैं ना, वो तो information है ना. Applying that, you know, how we will see that how the certain models we could fit on in that, you know, the specific situation. Okay, so okay, fast food restaurant.
बस मेरा आपसे ये क्वेश्चन ये है कि जो हम जब एग्जाम डे पे जब हम क्वेश्चंस के साथ जब कंफ्रंट करेंगे, तो जो आपने अपना एनालिसिस किया है, आई जस्ट वांटेड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि क्या ये सवालों जवाब जो भी होंगे वो जो आपने अपनी असेसमेंट की है, क्या इसी से रिवॉल्व करेंगे जी?
एग्जैक्टली, सिचुएशन तो कोई भी पूछ सकता है ना एग्जाम में।
हाँ,
तो उसमें ये है कि ये सारी इंफॉर्मेशन विल हेल्प यू टू रिस्पॉन्ड टू दैट
रिस्पॉन्ड। बिल्कुल।
तो ये बेसिकली तो एनालिसिस है, डिटेल्ड एनालिसिस है, मुख्तलिफ चीज़ों को मुख्तलिफ अंदाज से देखने हैं। तो जब भी कभी भी किसी भी चीज़ का को आपने सिचुएशन को हल करना हो ना, तो आप उसके प्रॉब्लम और सोल्यूशन पे बाद में जाते हैं, पहले उस सिचुएशन को समझते हैं, पूरा आप पढ़ते हैं कि सिचुएशन है क्या। जैसे वकील है ना, पूरा केस पहले पढ़ता है, फिर वो अपने आर्गूमेंट बनाता है, ऐसे ही है ना। तो ये आप समझ लें कि यू आर अ लॉयर, यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग योर केस, so you need to have the understanding of each and every aspect of your case. So you could then, you know, build your arguments to support your position, strengthen your.
सर मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ जी, आ रही है।
सॉरी वो ट्राई किया था मैंने।
चलो कोई नहीं, खैर अभी आप म्यूट कर लें, अभी डिस्टॉर्शन बहुत ज्यादा है। ख्याल आप मोबाइल पे हैं ना?
जी सर।
प्लीज म्यूट कर लें यार, ये म्यूट ना जरा डिस्टॉर्शन आ रही है। ठीक, ओके। सो
सर अब ठीक होगी?
हाँ अब ठीक।
बस सर मेरा क्वेश्चन है पोर्टर के जो डायमंड मॉडल के ऊपर। ये जो पोर्टर का डायमंड मॉडल है, बेसिकली ये तो हमें बता रहा है कि होम कंट्री के अंदर हम ये 4 फैक्टर्स को देखेंगे, लेकिन इस पोर्टर के डायमंड मॉडल को हमने अप्लाई तब करना है जब वी आर प्लानिंग टू एक्सपैंड इन सम अदर कंट्री, या हम अपने कोई एग्जिस्टिंग फॉर एग्जांपल सिनेरियो के अंदर भी पोर्टर के डायमंड मॉडल को हम अप्लाई करके वहां पर कोई इन्फ्लुएंस दे सकते हैं, क्योंकि ये 4 फैक्टर्स जो है जो कि
ये बिल्कुल जो आपने पहली बात की है ना, उसी के मुताल्लिक है। अब आप जो है ना कि जब एक्सपेंड कर रहे होंगे ना, तो पोर्ट्रेट का डायमंड मॉडल का यही है कि इफ यू गॉट ऑल दीज थिंग्स इन प्लेस इन होम कंट्री, दैट विल हेल्प यू टू एक्सपेंड सक्सेसफुली इन द अदर वन।
This is basically the main tool when there is a scenario कि भाई जो स्नैक व्हील है वो वेस्टेरिया से निकल के कोई ईस्ट एंग्लिया कोई नया मुल्क है वहां पर जाना चाह रहा है, तो हम बेसिकली अपने लॉजिक को हम ये बताएं। बिल्कुल ठीक होगा सर,
बिल्कुल यही है। ठीक है जी, ओके। सो fast food restaurants aim to serve the food quickly and on demand. That can often be achieved by selling menu items that can be cooked in batches and then kept hot, right? So batches may, you know, that the wastage thing is and the quality thing is important here. So on-demand service है basically. तो ये but the time is also important. So you would keep the things like in a shape that you could quickly cook them and then deliver. Often by keeping them under bright lamps that radiate heat. Now this actually poses some, that the negative impact also, because those things are not fresh, cooked fresh. You have cooked those. So you must have faced this problem that when you got a home delivery, basically the food is not that fresh, and that's the reason, because it is actually impossible to cook all the food fresh and then deliver, because that would be involving a lot of time, and the people actually don't wait for that long time. And obviously there are certain time slots in which the people are placing the orders and cooking all that food immediately during that the short time period would be a challenge for the restaurant. So what they do is that they would cook and they would keep it, and then that they would just you know uh, they warm it and then they send it for delivery. So that creates a little bit that I would say that would be causing you to make a little bit compromise on the quality of the food, because the attribute uh, which is preferred like that for the food is that it should be fresh. So, for example, a batch of rice can be kept hot and remains sellable for up to 10 minutes. Having such items ready made with the fresh batches and preparation throughout the day means that more customers can be served at busy times. So that's what I told you, that in busy times that approach would help you to serve the customer. So value drivers, quick and on-demand service. Production in batches requires sophisticated forecast of demand. Otherwise, you would end up like having a lot of wastage, because you from beyond a certain time limit, obviously then that food then is not eatable. That gets in a shape. This, especially fast food, it deteriorates so fast. So there are other fast food items designated to be quick to prepare. For example, pizza can be made by spreading a portion of sauce across a ready-made pizza base, sprinkling cheese and other toppings, and baking the uncooked pizza in a preheated oven for just few minutes. So only the food items which could be cooked quickly should ideally be on the menu of fast food restaurants, and the developments and the techniques to cook food fast will affect this industry. Now, you must have seen that in this, like in McDonald's and Burger King, etc. They got those all, the equipment for the fries, like they got the special type of equipment which help them to cook the food fast, and they are actually preferring this fast food restaurant. Especially they prefer the food to sell the food which is quick to prepare, that the buns are there, patties are there, so they would just be preparing the burger quickly. Otherwise, the traditional food, if we see, especially in our part of the world, there is no way that you could cook that food quickly. So when they have also now developed the ways that they would be keeping the half cooked food, and when the order is received, they will just, that complete the cooking process and send that to you. Fast food industry, again, the introduction to fast food industry continues. Fast food restaurants designed to serve customer as quickly as possible. Many have a counter that is designed so that staff can take order. You know that the three, four, five guys are standing there, and they would be taking your orders, and they do have a systematic way of managing the customers and their orders. So many have a counter that is designed so that staff can take order, collect payment, and deliver food as quickly as possible. So again, it is being told that the quickness of service is the critical success factor. So seating may be provided so that customer can eat their meals in the restaurant, but it is generally designed to be slightly uncomfortable in order to encourage customer to leave as soon as they have eaten. So you must have seen that in our part of the world, that again this fast food restaurants have been again domesticated. Those have been changed in accordance to our requirement. Like here, taking the food just doesn't mean that you just want the food. Sometimes that it means that you want to socialize, you want to sit out. So that's why some of the branches have made their sitting arrangement so comfortable, cozy, to come to to accommodate their customers. But generally you would see that in a fast food restaurants they won't be having a very comfortable sitting arrangement. Those the chairs and the table, that is not good to sit for a long time. So seating may be provided so the customer can eat their meal in the restaurant, but it is generally designed to be slightly uncomfortable in order to encourage customers to leave as soon as they have eaten. So restaurants encourage takeaway orders as it reduces requirements of maintaining the sitting space and improves restaurants conditions. But that economics. So that if you would like to have the the seating arrangement, obviously you will have to uh, hire the larger premises, and that would be adding cost, and that maintaining and running air conditioning and all those things would be adding to your cost. So whereas their model is that they they prefer to provide you food which is economical and quick, but that would then the preference is that you just take it away instead of sitting there. The meals are usually served in disposable containers. Customers are then free to take their food away and eat it elsewhere. Customers who eat their meals in the restaurants can dispose of their containers in the bins provided before they leave. There is no need for staff to collect and wash dirty dishes. At most restaurant staff will only have to remove any litter and wipe down tabletops with an antiseptic spray. So we have seen, we all of us have experienced this. That this is how this works. So and the point is that those these restaurants actually creates a lot of garbage actually. So they reprocess it, and that is used. Then they said that they recycle all that wastage in order to something make something valuable out of that material then. So disposable containers are generally a wastage and is not environment friendly. So companies need to ensure the recycling of the container to reduce the wastage to save the scarce resources. How much additional cost the restaurants has to incur to purchase such disposable container? That's an important part, because the packaging is important, and packaging especially in delivery, that would be adding a cost, because delivery means that you need to have a good packaging. So packaging would also be adding the cost, as well as it would be creating the wastage. So I have seen that at Karachi airport, the McDonald's, they have put those benches around the McDonald's, and they have put the plates on those benches. That those benches are prepared from the recycled wastage, that plastic and all that. So they have uh, told that that they wanted to give a message that the wastage is being used to create something of value. So this wastage should be recycled, right? As it encourage the self-service, so the requirement of maintaining service staff is less in such fast food restaurants. So here actually we are now understanding the fast food industry. So we would see that how this snack wheel and this online delivery thing gets fit in with this whole fast food industry. Although I told you that this online delivery service is itself is an industry now. Online food delivery service helps restaurant to achieve the target of maintaining less staff and serving more customers. So now that the fast food the point that I wanted to make here is that the fast food restaurants, they do have an objective. Even there was no online delivery, they had an objective that they want to keep the less staff, they want to hire the less premises in order to, you know, serve the customers quickly. Now the online delivery services have actually complemented and helped them to achieve this target by expanding their area of service. So you know that in a traditional business model, it was just that the customer would be taking the order and then they will go away. And for that the customer have to come there to pick their food. But now in this online delivery, even the customer doesn't need to come there to the restaurant, so even the footfall would decrease. Still your demand would increase, demand for your food items would increase. You know, that's the less people customer would be visiting your restaurant, still you would be having a larger base of the customer. So that's the point. So you should have an understanding that this online delivery services are actually complementing and helping the restaurants to achieve their this objective of keeping their cost low by maintaining the smaller restaurant space and less employees. So sustainability requires, like you need to understand that non-financial disclosure, that for such type of industry, you need to have an understanding that the companies need to disclose this information, that how they are interacting with their environment, social effects, and economic, the impact of your business model. So you could see that, that how much information we could get out of even this small paragraph. So fast food is also designed to be quick to eat. Making food easy to bite and chew encourages customers to eat more quickly. Again, that encourages customers to finish their meals and to leave, to create space for more customers. Fast food items are generally made with little or no fiber in their ingredients, and they usually contain sauces that make the food moist and so easy to chew and swallow. So again, if you are running to your office and you just grab a burger, that's just easy to chew and easy to quickly in 3-4 minutes you could finish your burger. And the reason is that they use the sauces and they made the food which has the less amount of the fiber. Fiber is good for health, by the way. So if you are reducing the ingredient this fiber from your food, actually you are making it less healthy. So, that we all have an understanding that this junk food or the fast food is not good for health. And here is the reason that has been explained, because there is a trade-off that either you could make it healthy or you could make it easy and quick to eat. So a bread used in sandwiches and burger buns tend to be baked so that it is light and airy. So how does that affecting the health of the customer? That's yet to be seen. That there might be an issue, and there are so many articles about the fast food where the health experts or the medical experts, they say that this food is not good for health. So at the same time, that the companies, they do some social responsibility work. They tell that they are generating the employment. They tell that they that they are saving your time, etc. So at the one side, it might be having a certain the detrimental impact on health, but on the other side, it is giving a lot of benefit. So ease in eating food helps to achieve the target of quick service. Again, I told you that, so you could understand that here again and again, this the quick service and this being in time, basically saving the time. Apps and website make it convenient to order and get the food delivered. Again, it is emphasized that maintaining less and less space for the restaurant is important for restaurant to keep their cost low. uh, Ethical principles, these are basically, as I told you, that the food is have some negative implications on the health. So there could be certain situations where being a management accountant, you are holding a certain information, uh, that which needs to be disclosed to the customers, or there might be certain facts that your management is asking you to hide, so then you might have to concern these ethical principles in order to know that how you should behave in that situation. For instance, that there are claims from the customers, uh, health claims, or there are complaints, and that your company might have paid for those claims to the customers, but your management want you to hide that information. So that being a professional accountant, you will have to disclose, and there then might be any type of the information, or any type of situation which might require you to consult your ethical principles to, in order to know that how you should behave and act in a certain situation. So again, I have just explained it that threat to the ethical principles, the self-interest, familiarity, self-review. This is already, you have read it already. So auditor could benefit from any financial interest in client. So auditor becomes two of now here. Auditor and manager both could replace it, like in situation a management accountant could be doing that, the things. So self review, um, and advocacy, intimidation, right? So fast food industry, uh, okay, and one thing you need to understand, that in a certain situation you might feel that that generally you have a broad idea that the question require you to discuss a certain concept and its application, but in certain situations you might be just be writing from your own like experience or your own thoughts that you have developed over the time when you were reading the pre-scene, understanding the industry, and that while you were discussing the various concepts, so you might have developed your own way of thinking about certain things. So it is not just like that you would always be finding the appropriate headings from your books. No, sometimes you might have to write from your the collective wisdom of not collective wisdom. For collective wisdom is a different gives the different connotation from your the thoughts that you have collected from the various sources, pre-seen, unseen, books, and that all industry analysis. So you might have developed a way of thinking about the thing. So you might have to write from in your own word instead of the sometimes student says that I don't know that which topic is relevant. So we as a that as a professional we know that it is not like that. In all the situation we would always be finding a specific pattern to resolve a situation. No, that doesn't happen in the real world. So case study is a demonstration of the real world. So sometimes you might have to write. So you should be comfortable writing that. It's okay, like this happens. So the ease and convenience of purchase makes food popular. It can be purchased and eaten for lunch during the working day, or for breakfast on the way to work. Consumers may also be keen to eat a quick meal to save time for some other person reason, perhaps dinner on the way to meet friends. Many consumers enjoy fast food because of the factors that make it easy to eat. The sauces that make it easy to chew also enhance the flavor. That the different flavors of those sauces, we all know that. So the lighter bread used in the buns and the sandwiches make for a more pleasant texture, and also create the impression that the restaurant has been generous with the fillings. So ease and convenience are the value drivers. Availability of the fast food of the food 24/7 makes service attractive to customers. Customer segmentation preferring ease and convenience, preferring flavor, right? Uh, the if you go there on Subway, that they ask you to select your own sauces and all that, the vegetable, etc., pickles. So you could pick those all. It becomes sometimes difficult that you should, which sauce you should select or which you should not select, and they even give you the option to select the bread of your option of your own. preference, right? So they actually gives the options to the customer, customization actually. So the efficiencies associated with the making and selling fast food means that it tends to be significantly cheaper than alternative form of eating out. So you know that all these things which we were discussing actually help you to achieve uh, the economies, right? So in addition, fast food outlets, unlike traditional restaurants, do not feel a need to incur unnecessary cost on creating a comfortable. So everything that we have discussed will actually help you to the restaurants, fast food restaurants, to achieve the economies, and then accordingly those savings are passed on to the customer. So efficiencies achieved in production of the fast food are passed on to the customer as well. Economies of scale. So now this online food delivery will help them to achieve those economies of scale by increasing the customer base. So now from a one outlet, if you were, delivering, if you're serving the 100 customer per day, now the online delivery can help you to, expand your customer base, and you might end up like serving 250 customers every day. So, so your even overhead would be reduced. So again, achieving the that's why that sometime you must have seen that these online apps give a lot of promotional activities, that if you get a food you will delivered, you will be getting 20% and 30% also. They actually, why they do that? Because that food actually costs them less than the food that is being served there on their counter, or served on in the restaurant, right? That's why they give those promotions. Fast food restaurants can operate as independent outlets, right? But many belongs to national and global chains. So now we know that Burger King, Pizza Hut, and this McDonald and all that, with the heavy advertising and consistent brand image. Now this is important, that that creating brand image is important. From the McDonald's, you could see that even a 3-4 year kid could know that this is McDonald's. Now they have achieved such a good brand image that even the small children could understand, could see and recognize their brand. So customers of chains often know the menus of their favorite chain and know what they will order before entering a restaurant. So this is that they want uh, Mac, uh, Big Mac or whatever, Mac chicken. So people have the preference. So they understand. And the important thing is that in the chains, in restaurants, in the different restaurants, you're going to find almost the same kind of the quality and the taste of the food. So contract with the chain could offer the opportunity to extend the online service outside West India, right? That's an important information. If you are serving company ABC, and that's a chain of the food, and that chain food is operating in West India, and they are operating in East India, North India, you could do that, right? Chain also offer a quick expansion in local market. Chains must also be having a captive customer segment loyal to their brand or food type. Such chains are powerful stakeholders and must be having more bargaining power than the individual restaurants. Right? Now, your suppliers, we have discussed there in your 4 to 5% model that your suppliers are your these restaurants, so they do have the power if they are a chain. Some individual restaurant might not be having that type of power. So there are many different varieties of fast food. These often vary according to local culture, taste, as well as the relative success of the major brands in any given country. The following type of the fast food are popular in West area. So this offers the opportunity to aggregators like Snakwheel to give the customer option of buying their choice from a single app, website, convenience, stakeholder management. When we know that that the restaurants are important stakeholders, so we need to have an understanding of the concept of stakeholder management. So the types of the food: burgers, pizza, sandwich, chicken. Restaurants sell chicken pieces, those fast food restaurants are associated with bakery chains sometimes, this Tehzeeb, etc. Specialize in pastries, sausage rolls, and similar products. So I'm not going to get through these all. You know that how these are prepared. You are quite familiar with it. So we will be just talking the analysis. So online delivery service encourage the kind of cooperative environment for um, various various fast food types as far as delivery is concerned. Fast food types as far as delivery is concerned, fast food is missing here. You could see that there are some, the spell errors. I will read it again and will try to eliminate it uh, or correct it. So customers do. How come this is a cooperative? Because you know that if a customer wants to order a pastry after, that they after having a food, they want to have some sweet. So they could order the pastry, or for the snacks, like that for what we call that starter, they might be preferring certain chicken pieces, and then the main course, and then some pastry. So that there's those apps makes it easy for them to order their whole menu. Otherwise, that visiting all those restaurants would be a challenge for the customer. Don't have to visit multiple restaurants to order food for different types. More the variety the delivery app offers to customer, more the order for Snakwheel. So what could be the impact on Snakwheel if one of the famous fast food chain terminates the contract with the Snakwheel? As we know that having an agreement with the chain is beneficial and important because it would get you instant access to a large customer base. But at the same time, if some restaurant chain that they terminate their that would be having a great impact. We have been told that currently we are interacting with the 5 restaurant chains. So this is a big risk that if even one of the chain discontinue working with your company, then it would be significant. It would be having a significant impact on your business, right? So this is important fact you need to understand. So we need to have we need to have a plan of expansion. In such a case that you always be embarking on the expansion plan, you need to incorporate new customers in your network. Otherwise, if you would be losing one customer, that would have a uh, significant impact on your earnings. So health issues related to such fast food consumption, we have already talked about it. So the most fast food restaurants also offer a range of soft drink side dishes such as fries or potato wedges and desserts. So these generally share the characteristics of the main meal option in that they are quick and easy to prepare and are supplied in. So that the restaurant would be having then the agreement with those suppliers of the drinks and all that. So online food delivery service use the disposable packaging excessively, and recycling such disposable packaging is a challenge compared to the packaging used at restaurant. We know that at the restaurant there is a bin, and that all that disposable packaging wastage is being collected at a one place. But here you are throwing all those packages in the different homes. They are then throwing it in their dustbins. So that would be that's not easy then to recycle, because that's not at a one place, right? So that's a challenge. And how you going to overcome this challenge, that yet to be seen, that how it could be, or maybe you could use the biodegradable packaging, right? So CSR, IR, and GRI concept are relevant to, so because this is the social responsibility, environmental, if you are it is equivalent to like hurting your environment. Or restaurant offer a range of meat free and another option to meet specific dietary needs of customers. So the all type of those foods are being offered. So variety of food makes the menu fit for a wide range of customers, because there are certain people who are vegetarian, they don't eat the meat. So for that's why it has been mentioned that all the customer segments are the requirement of all the customer segments are being catered for, but also makes the delivery process complex. Okay, so fast food, the Western fast food industry generate a sale of 72 billion during the year ended 2021, with the sales from 55,000 outlets spread across the. So this is a huge, the restaurant number of restaurant. Fast food has grown steadily for many years. The number of outlet increased by 36% from 2011. So within the period of just a decade, the number of the fast food restaurants have increased. So which tells that the people, there is the growing demand for the fast food items. So what this is, your demand is a derived demand. Snack wheels demand is a derived demand. It is being derived from the demand of the fast food items, right? You are just a delivery company, right? So this is a good indicator. So the market is growing, and obviously that tells that that you are being a delivery service company. You also need to have a plan in place to capture your share of the that expansion, that that obviously the home deliveries. So sizable market size within a promising future due steady great growth due to steady growth, right? So various market segments, understanding each market segment and their preference will help utilize the riders efficiently. Some people prefer burgers, the other one baked goods, pizza, sandwiches. So that needs to be seen. That we culture wise, in some cultures, burgers are preferred. Like in America, the burger people eat burgers like anything. If you would go there, even the servings are so good that if you would get a cold drink with the burger, they would give you a huge glass. Here in our country, the servings are so you could say that not good, right? Really, the quantity of the food that they serve at the counter is not good. Then industry surveys shows that there are 70% of vegetarians aged over 20 who eat fast food at least once per week, and 23% eat fast food 3 times or more, generally younger consumers. So that from that information we know that there is a market segmentation on the basis of the age groups. So the young people, they are working, they do have the less time, they are running around, so they prefer to have the fast food. Maybe that's the one reason, is that all of them have a great access to the internet. They have the gadgets and mobile smartphones, so they could easily place the order. Then this 40 to 59, again, uh, their per week order frequency is less, but still they're doing. But the 60 plus, they are sitting back at home. Maybe they, because of some health issues, that related to this food, fast food, they don't prefer. They might not be using the technology so frequently and all that. So there could be the multiple reason of not using the fast food frequently, right? So working population seems to be the prime customer of the fast food. West India is a developed country and must be having good employment rate. Fluctuation in employment rate will affect the demand. So from that, that if you make your argument that that it looks like because we have been told that convenience and quick service time. So who doesn't have so much time? The people who are working class, they are running around, right? So now we could relate it. So if your employment, there is a projection that the employment will go down, so you should be ready that your demand will also go down. If the employment will go up, your demand will also go up. Now this is the ecosystem of your industry, fast food industry. Internet service provided, banks, the payment channels, riders, credit card companies, software development companies, apps, and those software, customers, navigation, Google Maps. That this it is obviously you would not be having your own navigation system. Companies would be using the navigation system developed by the other companies, and then insurance companies, regulator, restaurants, packaging manufacturers, So, or your business model is actually the whole ecosystem is surrounded by the cybersecurity issues, digital disruptions. That you might to start delivering through the drones. City traffic would be having a the impact. That those are all riders all the time running on the roads. But there is a trade-off. That if even if the people would go outside to the restaurant themselves, again they would also be creating the traffic. So labor laws, etc. That's also, so you should have an understanding what is your ecosystem, right? This is important slide, by the way. You could make many arguments out of that slide. Ecosystem archetype, what type of the orchestration and that some might be saying that it is very complex. Yeah, it has a complexity uh, because of the technical the things. You need a specialized software, you need a specialized app, etc. So that makes it a little bit complex. There are interactions between the company and the restaurants and the payment channels and the customers and the riders. So there's a complex. There are so many players in the ecosystem. So it is a complex industry, but there is no orchestration. From a perspective, that if you would be looking at that the stack wheel is orchestrating, then it's a different story. But I believe that as an industry, there is no orchestration. All these online food delivery applications, they do have their own working model. They are operating independently of each other. They are not collaborating with each other. There is no one player which is dictating the terms. But if you just look at uh, look at the model that the snack wheel is orchestrating among the restaurant, payment channel, banks, customer, riders, and some other players, then you would be here. So now I'm just telling you that if you would be looking it from a different perspective, you will have to then put it in a different quadrant. But if you would be making this argument which I have made, then you will put it here in hornet's nest, fragmented competition. From the real world, there is a fragmented competition. All those food delivery companies are fighting for their own market share. There is no orchestration. There is no one player which is dictating the terms. Like in oil producing company, OPEC dictates, like that there is a body which tells that how each of the producer would be behaving, etc. That there is the fuel prices. So large number of participants, low orchestration. It is a complex business because require integration of sophisticated systems and payment channels. Snack will fall in hornet's nest quadrant, right? You could put it here as well, but then you will have to give the different argument that I have already told you. Now, that from here you are actually getting certain facts, you are gathering certain arguments from each slide. So fast food home deliveries, the phrase home delivery applies to deliveries made to the customer's chosen location, regardless of whether it is their home address or place of employment, hotels, or any other fixed location that are safe and accessible. So market segmentation on the basis of location of the delivery. Developments in the map navigation revolutionized the home delivery service. So home delivery service started in early 90s when a major burger chain created its own telephone ordering service that enabled customer to order food from chain. So that primarily it started with the telephone. Even that for the telephone, if everybody has the telephone, there was a time when the people even doesn't have doesn't have those telephones. So that the telephone actually was the starting point. So communication actually is the backbone. The communication has become so convenient that enable customer to order food from the chain's menu and pay by credit card when placing their order. This was a major success and was soon copied by other fast food chain. Customer enjoyed the ability to obtain fast food from their favorite restaurant without having to leave their homes. So 90s, it's not a very old industry. I would say that home delivery service is a recent phenomenon, just a 3 decade, not a long time. Improvement in communication and payment channels are the fundamentals to drive the growth in home delivery service. Improvement in communication and payment channels. The new payment channels are being introduced. It is not only the credit card now, the PayPal and the PayPal and so many other payment channels. Even these mobile companies, they have their made their what they call Jazz Cash and I don't know Easy Pesa app and all. You could keep the money in that and you could pay through that as well. So the payment channels are now improving. So convenience is a prime value driver again. Convenience and quick service, time, the fundamentals. And the restaurant is achieving the economies because of this model. Technological advancements could change the shape of the industry as penetration of the internet and handheld devices did. So the market for the home delivery grew driven in part by the widespread ownership and use of smartphone and tablets with the Wi-Fi connection. These gave customer access to restaurant website that enable them to place order and pay online. They also enable customers to download apps that simplified the ordering and payment process further. So again, the same thing is being re-emphasized. Technological advancements such as artificial intelligence and robotics could further revolutionized this industry. Snackwheel needs to keep pace with the technological advancement by external environment analysis and investments in R&D. Snackville created Westaria's first independent home delivery platform in. So you are the pioneer, right? You got an advantage. Previously, fast food chains that wish to offer home delivery had established their own delivery using their own websites and employing their own delivery staff. Snackville disrupted that approach to home delivery by creating a website that enabled customer to access several fast food chain menus. A food ordered through this website could be collected from restaurant operated by the chain by Snackville's courier and delivered to customer. This service proved attractive to both customers and restaurant chains. So you know that why it was attractive for the restaurants, why it was attractive to the customer. We have already discussed it in detail. Snackville is a pioneer in introducing the delivery platform. Home delivery industry seems to be in its growth stage because it is just a decade and a half old, the industry, 1.5 decade old industry. So it offered restaurants to outsource their delivery service and take the benefit of economies of scale. So that the restaurant now they got a chance to focus more on their core business because delivery is not their core business. The food is their core business. So they outsource that delivery thing to such companies like Snackville. So disrupted technologies enabled by widespread internet availability and mobile devices. Major stakeholder to home delivery service are restaurant and the end customer. So Snackville has two major competitors, both of whom provide similar home delivery services. Munch Bike was launched in uh, 2009 and Truck Bites in 2011. So offering the same service under different brands, so are brand competitors. If you remember that we discussed about the brand competitors, form competitors, that. So there were the different levels where the company compete with each other. So they are their brand competitor. Entry of a new player shows that the market is growing. You started it in 2007, entry of a new player 2009, entry of a new player in 2011. So that the industry is growing. There would be the new players in that industry. So there's going to be a intense rivalry among the competitors, right? Because the service is the same, just the brand. So marketing advertisement becomes so important in such a competition because and that having those the agreements with the restaurants and offers from the restaurants that would be making your app more attractive. The Snackville and its competitor describe themselves as platform in recognition of the fact that platforms are defined as online or physical environments that connect different groups and offer benefit based on the participation of others in the platform. So platform create the ecosystem which helps the participant to take benefit by creating a holistic experience. Concept of value creation and capturing the residual value, right? That's relevant. You need to go and see that what were those concepts. Because now there's a platform, there are different stakeholders, those are creating the value collectively for the customer and then delivering that value to the customer and recapturing. Okay, the home delivery platform share the following characteristics. The customer place order online using the mobile phone apps, tablets, and the computer apps are promoted heavily through advertising and social media. Customers can create an account that include their payment details, or they can pay for individual order using their bank card. It may be possible to pay by cash on delivery, depending on their location. So internet connectivity and devices are the drivers of growth in home industry. How many customers subscribe to the app would make the portal attractive for restaurants. You know that if you will be going to a restaurant, you will ask them to subscribe or to have an agreement with your company. They will ask you that what type of the customer base do you have. If my menu would be presented on your application, how many of the people would be able to see it? That is the the important thing. So business model dependent on website and app, a website and apps is vulnerable to cybersecurity threats. That's why I was telling you that those cybersecurity chapters, the concepts are very important and relevant to your case study. So big data could help Snakwheel to target the customers and to improve the service. You know that those analytics would help you to offer to present the offer to the customer, to give them the offers. Understanding the big data and its benefit is important because this whole thing is being run on the big data. Your customers, their preference, their location, their payment information, right? And then the information of the restaurants, their menus. There is a lot of data. Data in pictures, data in shape of text, data in shape of various shapes, right? The opportunities and risk of social media, you will have to rely on social media. I was telling here, like you will have to do a lot of advertising activity because you are a brand competitor. So in order to make your brand, you will have to rely on social media. The benefits, advertising, brand development, big data analytics, that Facebook, etc., real-time information, communication, listening to customers, recruitment and selection. Some of the websites use that. These some, not some, all of the companies use these digital platforms for the recruitment and selection of the employees. So risks are human error, but if something that sometime that wrong tweet could take you to the hell. So productivity, data protection, hacking, reputation, inactivity. That if that the social media, Facebook, everything is there, and your employees are just doing chit chat and surfing through the social media website instead of working uh, working doing some productive work. Cost, it involves cost. You will have to have those all equipments and that data centers, experts. So social engineering, this is one of when we talk about the social media, the concept of social engineering becomes relevant. So when you are on a social media or you are connected, so social engineering is that it is not limited just to social media. Social engineering is that when you are on internet, so you are prone to all these. We have studied about that social engineering attacks, where they might be framing you through an email, through a telephone call, message. That they could do it individually or a group of individuals. You receive an email that there is an account that we could operate it jointly and we will draw that money. Or you might, I have seen that people receiving the email of employment and then the employer asking you to deposit a certain amount of money, so they would then process your application. So that is so compliance principle, friendship or liking, commitment or consistency, scarcity, reciprocity. So I'm not going to go into the details because whatever you have studied, if you are if you remember very good, remember that very good, or just go back and have a quick look. What was social engineering? Then social engineering this pretexting baiting bait, that just attack leaves a malware infected USB drive in public place. Attacker impersonate a tax authority and convince user. These are just the examples, right? Phishing, what is phishing? Attacker create a sense of urgency to receive a user into to deceive a user into clicking on a link or opening a attachment. Phishing is attacker calls a user, and that people receive a call that we are talking from this bank, and you just share you have won that the lottery, and so you need to share your that information. So normally banks now send a message that you should not share your that password, pin information, OTP, one time password information to anybody on the phone. The home delivery platform characteristics: platforms offer access to a range of different restaurant menus, generally one from each major category of fast food, such as burger, pizza, etc. That means that family or a group of friends can order from different restaurants to suit their preferences, making just one payment and avoiding the inconvenience of placing separate orders with different restaurants. The platform's software identifies the most suitable restaurant branches from which to fulfill each order. Details are transmitted to the restaurants, which then have responsibility of preparing the food and packing it ready for collection. The food is then collected by a courier who deliver it to the customer. So platform meeting the wider range of customer requirements, the more it would be attractive. It requires maintaining a relationship with large number of supply restaurants. That the more options the customers do have on your app, they would be having a tendency to subscribe for that app. Integration of the software with the system of the restaurant is vital. This is with not the with the system of the restaurant is vital. Availability of internet and uninterrupted service by the software is critical for the successful. If the system is down, that's why you have a hot website, hot data center, because you don't want your system to be down anytime. Then couriers are equipped with the insulated boxes with the battery powered heating element. These are mounted on the pillions of low-powered motorcycle or carried in small cars. The box keep the food hot on the journey from restaurant to the delivery address. Couriers are required to provide their own vehicle. Platforms hold couriers responsible for ensuring that the vehicles are roadworthy and that they are insured for business purposes. So battery could be as a safety hazard. Snakwheel needs to perform inspection to ensure the suitability of the vehicle and equipment for the service. Though risk of vehicle maintenance and accident is transferred to courier, but it needs to be ensured that courier maintains such insurance. Any mishap could be a reputational risk for Snakwheel. Like if one of your courier, God forbid, um, have an accident because of that, that these things. So, and that news is there on the media, reach to the social media, then it would be spreading like a fire and could cause you are exposed to reputational risks. That's important, very important, because we know that you are fighting on the basis of your brand, and brand is all about the reputation. So important, this brand and the reputation is so important for you. So most platforms aim to ensure that food is delivered within 30 to 40 minutes of placing an order. If customer order for more than one restaurant, then food may be collected and delivered by more than one courier. So traffic congestion, vehicle breakdown, etc. could impede the achievement of delivery time targets. Snakwheel may change the traditional mode of delivery, logistic, and build could introduce drones to deliver the food to customers, right? Then fast food home deliveries, again, platforms are sometimes referred to as portals to reflect the fact that they provide access to restaurant menus and can accept orders. They are also referred to as aggregator portals to reflect the fact that they aggregate or combine access to multiple. We have learned the concept of an aggregator while we were doing the industry analysis. So aggregators give access to the customers to a wide range of menu, create value for customer. Aggregator make the menu of restaurant accessible to large customer base, create the value for restaurant, right? So you are creating value for both the customers and the restaurants. So most platforms offer customers a range of payment options. Smart phone and tablet apps can be linked to customer debit and credit cards so that the payment is taken automatically. Customers who do not link their credit their cards can pay by inputting their card number to the app or platform. You know, the one time you just don't want the app to hold your the information of your credit card. We all have seen that. I also like don't keep my credit card there on the app all the time. Whenever I'm placing an order, I would put punch my information and then that's it. I will there's when the, you know, the option pop up that you want the app to store your credit card information. You could choose no if you don't want it to keep it there. So a lot of customer data is being maintained by Snakwheel. Data protection and security concept need to be revised here. So some restaurants permit their couriers to accept cash payments for meals. That's a difficult thing. Now you would see that, you know, the managing cash is always a problem. Most platform insist on payment by card or a app because they are rarely suitable basis to which cash can be submitted. Like in the dark kitchen, who will be then managing the cash there? You know, so the rider is coming back and giving you the cash. That's not very suitable option. So cash payments are discouraged as it requires additional security and resources to manage cash upon submission by courier, especially the dark kitchen, where you just have the kitchen, you don't have the cashier, etc. The platform track all sales made on behalf of each restaurant. The platform are entitled to an agreed commission. The platform track the amounts collected on behalf of each restaurant from card and cash payment, and they remit the net amount due after taking account of any charges such as the commissions and any rent due for use of dark kitchens on a regular basis. Software has an inherent system to track sales of each restaurants and to determine commission amounts. You know that would be providing you a dashboard, information dashboard. You could see that which restaurant is contributing more to your business, right? So which are not contributing more. So this could be used. This could be used for the customer profitability to determine profitability of each restaurant, right? Which restaurant is going good business to you, you know. Then fast food and home delivery. Some platforms operate dark kitchens, which are basically large storage and food operation facilities that are rented to one or more fast food restaurant chain. These dark kitchens are divided so that each fast food chain has its own separate kitchen area for food storage and preparation. The fast food chains hire their own cooks to ensure the food made at the dark kitchen is exactly the same as that from one of their restaurants. So provide the fixed asset base to Snakwheel. You know that you do have the dark kitchens. Uh, Helps to no these dark kitchen actually belongs to your platform, the Snakwheel. This is not the property. That's important to remember. That's not the property of the restaurants. Whereas you know that the restaurant outlets are the property of the. Now you could see that the enhanced level of collaboration. So you know that you are helping your business partner to increase their demand. Actually you are also making this delivery thing convenient for you to get more close to your customer. That will help you to achieve your target of that, you know, that the delivery time and convenience, you know, that the rider would also be good with that arrangement. So helps to get the closer to customer, hence reducing delivery time, economies of scale as kitchen spaces shared among various restaurants, generate additional revenue for restaurant and commission for Snakwheel. So the dark kitchens are not restaurants. They do not have any seating. They are designed to prepare food, ready for delivery. Platform build dark kitchens in areas where the expected demand is sufficient to justify their construction. They are attractive to fast food chains that require additional capacity to relieve the pressure on the conventional outlet in each busy areas. They can also be cost-effective way to establish a presence and so generate revenue in areas that would not offer sufficient demand to construct a conventional outlet. So you are creating value within the ecosystem, which is being shared with the restaurants. You know that you are helping the restaurant to achieve, their targets. I mean that you are helping them to achieve their goal of expansion without incurring any capital investment, right? This is now a different type. All you need is that they would be extending their expertise. They would be placing one of their cook or two of their cook, their methods and processes, there's some equipment, but that they won't be investing in the premises or all that. So the platform do not necessarily require a great deal of local infrastructure in the towns and the cities in which they operate. As we know that this is a digital platform, couriers operate remotely with a little or no direct supervision. Couriers are controlled by means of apps that they download to their smartphone. The platform can use these apps to track their courier's location and availability. Platform generally use two approaches to staffing. So it doesn't require heavy initial investment. Entry to barrier is low. That's what we discussed while we were doing that Porter 5 forces analysis, because this is just a software. Now the dark kitchen is an investment. If you would have to establish your dark kitchen, then in order to achieve that type of the business structure, you will have to invest to keep yourself competitive. If you know that Snakwheel is maintaining a dark kitchen and the new entrant doesn't establish the dark kitchen, obviously then they won't be able to achieve that type of the market share. So however needs a sophisticated compatible software. uh, trace track uh, this is traceability, not tractability, of the courier is based on the map service such as Google Map, etc. So employees densely populated. There are two types of the employees, which one are that you are keeping them and you are paying full time basis. So city centers usually have a large number of offices. You know that where there is a consistent demand. Some residential area have a large number of fast food deliveries. So there you would be having your employees. Employees are entitled to the various rights and protection afforded under the employment law, including a contract, holiday pay, and pension. They are also issued with the uniform and insulated bill. Now, you know that your those contracting staff on contract, they would not be eligible for these facilities, I believe. So, although it helps to manage the delivery in a high demand areas, but cause fixed cost to the company, that the fixed pay you need to pay. Employment benefits are being extended to such employees. The independent contractor, most fast food couriers are independent contractor who are paid set rate for every delivery made. Contractor download an app to their personal smartphone that enable the platform software to communicate instruction to collect and deliver fast food. Collect, deliver food orders. Contractors use the app to indicate that they are available at work. You know that you click that button that you are available. Platform issue. So these are less privileged workers. You know that they just get the commission on every delivery. They are not protected. They do not have all those the holidays and everything that your other employees do have. Availability of independent contractor is not in control of Snakwheel, because if you are a developed economy, finding the people who are ready to have this type of working agreement would be difficult. Employment condition of the independent contractors are lesser than the employees. Couriers are not particularly well paid by platform, although it is customary for the customer invest area to pay gratuity. That's like the tip you pay for the good delivery, especially if the food is delivered promptly. The performance of the courier is monitored closely. Customers are invited to rate their experience after each order, and any complaints about the quality of the service provided are investigated and can result in dismissal. Now, you know that you need to keep a internal control system, a stringent internal control system. You would be evaluating the performance of the each courier in order to ensure the service levels. Work condition of the couriers and the low pay could become a source of reputational and regulatory risk. Regulatory risk, because if you are not complying with the labor laws, if the labor laws require you to give them a holiday, but you know that you are not giving them, or the employees are not choosing to have that holiday, that could be a problem for you. despite low paid, couriers have to keep the service levels high. You know that you dismissal, you know, the negative feedback if investigated and found that you are responsible for the low service, you might be dismissed from your job. Investment in training and development of the couriers could improve the service levels. So that's it for, let's take a small break.